Sup fam, we're going to talk a little bit about your Start It and Improve It practice MC grammar coming at you. Let's take a look. You should be on the green circle one if you're on this page. Alright, so your task was to take some of our main points and make them better using Start It or Improve It. So, our main point read, to begin, Perseus was brave. He certainly was. Now, we're going to start with our noun one. So remember, for our noun start-its, we're going to make sure that at the beginning of that sentence, we use what we call our noun appositives, all right? So here I have, to begin, comma, Perseus, comma, the hero, comma, was brave. So if you look here, the hero is that noun appositive, and it's going to be at the start of my sentence because I'm on start-its, all right? Next, we had our noun improve it. Same idea, except this time I'm just going to switch the order to make the noun appear in a different spot in my sentence. So to begin, comma, the hero, comma, Perseus was brave. Again, that gives my readers a little bit more detail. I'm explaining the noun with a noun. Sweet. All right, let's move on down to adjectives. So remember, adjectives are yellow. Adjectives describe our nouns. Adjective, improve it, or excuse me, start it. So we're going to start with to begin, Perseus was brave. So our adjective start it here says to begin, brave, comma, because we know that brave is describing who? It's Perseus. That's an adjective. So I'm going to move brave to the beginning. To begin, comma, brave, comma, Perseus faced the Medusa. So that switches up my sentence a little bit, gives it a clear image to my reader, okay? Now we need to improve it. So we're not going to just move that adjective, but instead we're going to improve which adjective I use. So I'm going to maybe use a different word to explain how Perseus was brave, all right? So here it says, to begin, comma, Perseus was valiant. That's a little bit of a stronger word, and it still describes my verb Perseus with a stronger word there, okay? So that's my adjective version. And then finally I have to begin, Perseus was brave. I'm going to use a start it for the verb. So remember, start it's my first column. Start it for the verb here. To begin. Now my verb before is was. That's what we call a state of being verb. So now I'm going to change that verb and put at the beginning. So if I said to begin was, doesn't work. But if I say to begin being brave, that still explains Perseus and it still starts with a verb. So to begin, being brave, comma, Perseus faced the Medusa. Different way to say that main point, okay? Now let's go to my improve it here, all right? So instead of just using the word was, which is over here, I am changing my verb completely. I'm improving it. So I'm going to use a different verb to describe Perseus, okay? So to begin, Perseus exemplified bravery when he faced the Medusa. A stronger verb there. I'm not using was anymore. I'm using a different verb to describe to my reader what happened. Cool? All right, so take a minute to check that first part, see if there's anything you might need to change. Your words can be different from mine, but the idea is where did I use my part of speech and did I use it correctly? Cool, let's move on. So second half here we had an elaborate this time instead of a main point, right? So we're going to go through and kind of look again in my writing, how will I change my elaborates, all right? So my first original sentence says, this shows that Perseus was brave because he cut off the head of the Medusa. So we're going to go to our noun, start it. Again, I'm going to put my noun, start it, my noun at the beginning of the sentence. So this shows that Perseus, comma, the hero, comma, was brave because he cut off the head of the Medusa. I'm starting it with my noun, all right? Improve it, same idea, but I just mixed up my order here. This shows that the hero, comma, Perseus, comma, was brave because he cut off the head of the Medusa. Same idea here. I'm just moving where my noun goes and explaining to my reader a little bit more about who Perseus was. Cool? All right, next we have our adjective. Remember, adjectives describe nouns like we talked about, okay? And so here we're going to describe how Perseus is. So again, same idea, but now it's in our elaborate. So to start my sentence, I'm going to move the descriptor word, which is brave for Perseus, to the start once again, okay? So this shows that brave, comma, Perseus cut off the head of the Medusa, making him a hero. You'll notice here I added a little bit more to my sentence at the end to make it make sense, all right? Next one, we're going to use our improve it. This shows that Perseus was valiant, so again, I changed my adjective. I made it a better adjective or a stronger adjective. This shows that Perseus was valiant because he cut off the head of the Medusa. Same idea, just a stronger adjective to describe Perseus. Cool. Now let's look at our verb, kind of the same idea here, one more. So this shows that Perseus was brave because he cut off the head of Medusa. First one, I'm going to take that verb and put it at the front. So there are two verbs I can pick from. We could say was the state of being, or cut off the head of the Medusa. So move one of those to the front, okay? So I said this shows that showing bravery, Perseus faced and killed the Medusa, all right? So you can see I changed a couple of my verbs there, just made it a little bit stronger for my reader, and I started with a verb, okay? So showing bravery, showing that he's there, okay? And then the last one, I'm going to improve the verb. So I'm not going to use the verbs that I saw in my first sentence. I need to change them, okay? This shows that Perseus exemplified bravery, better verb there, in slicing the head of the Medusa off. That paints a picture in my head, right, as the reader. I can see that, and it's a little bit more vivid for me, all right? So again, take a minute, kind of check your work here. You can move up and down with my video on the screen. Hopefully MC Grammar helped you out on this, and we'll move on to step 3 next. Thank you.